You know that one problem many of us have with our Wi-Fi devices? It's the distance between two things. So the Wi-Fi device is either too far away from your laptop or sometimes far away from your mobile or some other devices. So you don't get enough of signal. It's not the end of the world in most cases. There's always a solution, and there's always a solution with electronics, right? So there are a couple of things you can always do. One is to probably get a bigger router or gaming router, for example, which has multiple antennas. So that really kind of counters this distance problem in one way. But then the downside is cost. You can also add a repeater, and that will also help, but SSIDs and a lot of other confusions. So what else can you do? Well, you could probably try moving the router closer to the subjects. So that's an easy solution, right? So that can work, but what if you have a lot of cables? What if you run an optical fiber modem which you can't move easily? So these are a lot of cons doing this kind of setup, right? Moving your router closer to your device is not compatible always. So what's the other thing you can do, right? You still want to use the same old router with the 2 antennas or 3 antennas. So there's one thing you can do. Why don't you try moving just the antenna closer to your devices? Let the router be wherever it is, but move the antenna. So that's actually possible, right? That's exactly what these cables do. These cables help you move the signal closer to your devices. Are they as good as moving your router? No, but they can work. And in today's use case, I'm going to try it with something different. So I'm going to do it with an IP camera. Let's have a look. Welcome back to rTech. Please do subscribe, like the video if you like it, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. So I first made a video about this quite some time back, and during that time, these cables were available on AliExpress. Now, I had a TP-Link Archer C2 router, and this one had some trouble getting the signal over to some parts of the house. So this same kind of cable was used, and the results weren't that great, simply because maybe the cable quality wasn't good. But nevertheless, I knew that I can move the antenna far away from the source. So whatever we're going to try now is again an experiment. It may or may not work for you. So once you learn what specification your router antenna and your router ports have, it's a simple thing to do. All you need to do is just pick up a few of these cables and you're good to go. These cables are very easily available on Amazon, and you can actually buy them in different specifications depending on how your router is configured. I picked up these new sets about a week ago, and they come in very basic packaging, just plastic. So you're not going to see any kind of branding or any kind of specification mentioned. Also, these are dirt cheap. So you get for about $10 or about less than $500 INR, and very easy to implement this change. Now, this is the specifications that you need to be careful about. So if you want to pause the video and have a look at the names here, it'll be useful for you in the future. So 90% of the modems and routers will have the same cables, SMA and rp-sma. RP just stands for reverse polarity. So this is the IP cam I have, and it's running into a lot of trouble because this little antenna it has doesn't catch the router's signal, which is located on the second floor of the building. So when I open the app on my phone, you can see that the gate camera always shows as connecting, and it's not actually online most of the times, simply because the router is not able to reach this particular camera. You can of course put a bigger antenna, but so you just want to keep it clean. So that's the reason I opted for the wire option instead. These cables are pretty long, so you can see that this is at least about 2 meters. And you can see the slot here. Once I remove the antenna, you can guess what kind of terminal this is. So this router uses rp-sma cables or rp-sma spec. Okay, so let's connect this wire. It's, like I said, very straightforward to use. So I'm connecting this directly to the router's antenna port. You'll still need the original antenna, so don't throw that off. And the next part, you'll see that the end of the antenna is also the same. That's because sometimes these guys send you pairs of cables which have the same terminals, and they send you 2 sets of them. So you need not worry again. I do have both the female and male versions of this cable, right? So this is going to make it much longer because there's a joint in the middle, and all I have to do is just connect the far end of the cable to the antenna stick. As simple as that. I didn't want it to be so long, but anyway, it's going to help me. The cable is almost, I think, 15 feet long. So I'm just going to pull up the wires. Very messy place, but yeah, I'm just going to hang it right about here on the first floor of my house. And we need not secure it because I'm guessing it should work. So I'm just leaving it there. And my router is actually on the second floor. But this is on the first floor, so I think it should still be better than what it was before. Turning on the app, there you go, it works. Yep, the camera is actually working. So it's simple things like this. Most of the IP cams I know are located far away from your router. So if you have a cable system like this, for a few dollars, you can sort this issue of Wi-Fi signals. And the door cam was actually close by, so it didn't have any issues. But the gate cam was a little away from the router on the second floor. And a small cable like this can help you get the signal back instead of thinking there's a problem with your IP camera. Hope that helped. You can do the same thing with the router's antenna instead. That could work too, but you might end up hindering the router's overall performance because the original antenna is always the best. Putting extensions like this can affect performance. But smaller devices like the IP cams, this works great. I hope you liked the video. I'll leave links in the description below. Please do hit the like button, subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one. I have many more videos coming up, so don't forget to hit the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching rTech. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.